Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
I'm glad you got a rehearsal for that one. This is our second time trying this.
Take. I'm Erin.
I'm Tom.
And this is Baby's First Watch List, the podcast where we scour through the Criterion channel to find only the rarest, shiniest gems of movies. And today, yes indeed, today, we have the best of them all, 2022's Falling for Christmas.
Easy Oscar contender, best picture favorite.
It's all the other movies should just give up.
Yeah. You hear that? Tar?
Give up, Tar.
Give up, Fablemans.
This Netflix original has shades of Hallmark, a dash of satire, and you stir it up with the spoon that stirs the drink, Lindsay Lohan.
And it's probably going to make more than Avatar: The Way of Water as well.
Nobody's going to see that, Tom. I'm like nervous.
Please let us know if you're going to see Avatar: The Way of Water.
They say that it has to make, I don't know if this is true, but they say it has to make $2 billion to hit even.
James Cameron doesn't get out of bed for $1 billion. That's
I don't know
it.
about that. Who wants to see Avatar 2?
James Cameron has 2 of the top 5 grossing movies of all time. He doesn't get out of bed for $1 billion.
Oh my God. I am so scared for the Na'vi. What are they going to do if they don't make the money?
There's going to be 6 sequels anyway.
That's the other thing. Is every sequel going to take 12 years?
How did we get 45 seconds into this episode and we're talking about the Avatar sequels?
Okay, but let's just be honest here.
Falling for Christmas needs 6 sequels.
Falling for Christmas needs, imagine it was done like Na'vi people were the characters. Like 25 feet tall.
We need the Sierra-verse.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be amazing. I need a Falling for Christmas interactive Disney ride.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. Well, wait till they make like Netflix World. You could have like Stranger Things rides.
That actually sounds awesome.
You could do Falling for Christmas rides.
You could do like NDA signing for House of Cards.
Yes. Oh, a ton of NDAs for House of Cards. You could be
like
realistic. You could do like, it could be like the Hollywood Studios part.
Yeah.
Would be like
behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
You could do a Dark, the show Dark, and just have the whole place in German.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like in Epcot.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I like that.
We've got some ideas. Netflix, reach out. We can figure this out.
Falling for Christmas was directed by first-timer Janine Damian, and this movie was written by Jeff Bonnet and Ron Oliver. Now, out of those 3, Janine, Jeff, and Ron Oliver's the only one with a Wikipedia page, and I did 0 Googling, so I don't know these other 2. I don't know their background.
We cannot be expected to do that much research.
No, we can't be expected to do any research.
We cannot be held to that standard because then that's a tough line because then we got to do some research.
Exactly. So Ron Oliver, is a Canadian man who is mostly known for children's television, which makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
This movie gives
sure
off
does.
mad Canadian vibes.
And mad children's vibes.
And like it was written by someone who may be a child.
Yeah.
Which is okay. I liked this movie.
Yeah. Erin liked this movie.
Oh, God. So this movie.
No, listen. I'm just gonna put this out there up front. I don't like this movie. It's a bad movie, but I understand the appeal through the Hallmark lens. I get it. It's not a bad Hallmark movie.
Number 1, it's an excellent Hallmark movie.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Number 2, Lindsay Lohan is great in this movie.
Lindsay Lohan's great in everything.
Yeah,
except for what was
true.
the one you said last run?
I Know Who Killed Me.
Yeah, didn't see it.
I probably want to see it though.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna watch Machete.
Yo, I can't wait to do our Prairie Home Companion episode.
Freaky Friday, Parent Trap.
Oh well, I mean, of course we're gonna do those.
Yeah,
Like
I don't even know what else she was in.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Maybe at some point. We'll see how long this podcast goes.
Exactly. So this movie actually filmed in Utah, Salt Lake City, and Park City. Park City is where all the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City live. I think it's also where Jen Shaw was arrested, although the FBI came to Salt Lake City
First, right? And
yes.
then Yeah.
And then they probably arrested her later on in Park City.
On the bus.
All I know is I didn't like Salt Lake City when I visited. I would go back, though, for a Falling for Christmas / Housewives of Salt Lake City bus tour.
I'm not going to say that's high on my list.
Well, okay, but Meredith Marks is there?
Who's that?
She's from The Real Housewives.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure you could run into like like Shaun White there sometimes.
I don't really want to run into Shaun White.
Why?
Didn't he get like Me Too'd or something?
I don't know. I think he's dating Nina Dobrev now. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's significantly younger than him, isn't she?
I don't think so.
Actually, no, she's been around for a while. She might not be as young
Vampire
as
Diaries. Do you know where she started? It's coming full circle. Degrassi.
How is that full circle?
Canadian.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is she Canadian?
I must be.
Okay.
Falling for Christmas debuted on Netflix just a few weeks ago because we at Baby's First Watch List are on the cutting edge. You know? Just like Mad, Crazy, Famous, very popular today, Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah.
And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Well,
cutting edge.
Just like we just started The White Lotus last night, season 1. So we are right on the cutting edge.
So, Falling for Christmas, unfortunately, did receive mixed reviews from critics.
Yeah.
They said on Wikipedia mixed to negative, but I disagree because it received a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is to
as
me
mixed as you get.
We're talking like for a Hallmark style movie, 58% is like 100%.
It's like the Citizen Kane.
It's Falling for Christmas is the Citizen Kane of Christmas Hallmark style movies.
And it did really well on Netflix, according to Netflix. I know, apparently
Netflix is always like, oh yeah, our movies, they killed it.
You know what? 5 billion people watched this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, Enola Holmes 2.
Yeah.
Like 45 billion times
well, listen,
it was watched.
It's like, I know we canceled Anne with an E, but it was killing it. It was doing so well.
Exactly.
Just, you got to do what you got to do.
The Anne with an E stands on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's calmed down. I need more Anne with an E stuff. Maybe I should just follow Netflix on Twitter.
Yeah.
And all the replies. There was a Sensei contingent.
There was.
And then the Anne with an E stands were going hard.
They were stands with an E.
They were stands with an E. So apparently Falling for Christmas is the 4th most viewed movie since May.
Wait, this May?
Yeah, this May 2020.
That's not that good. The last time I thought that you meant like May. For some reason, I thought you meant like May 2021.
No, I said last May.
That's not that good.
Well, how many months was May?
Till now?
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's like one of the best per month.
All right, well, guess what? Number 1, I'm going to look up what the top 3, what the highest grossing are.
Okay.
I was saying to you on the last recording, I think it was Bird Box.
Not since May.
No, not since like of all time.
Maybe Bird Box, but we only know what Netflix tells us.
Yeah, that is true. Netflix is shady.
It's shady.
All I know is I need more Cord Overstreet.
We have to do an investigative podcast on the Netflix viewership. We're gonna do like a serial style.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Tom, I'm gonna look up the most popular Netflix movies
since May or ever.
I don't think they'll have the data for since May, although apparently they do. I don't know. I'm gonna just look some stuff up. Why don't you tell me about Falling for Christmas?
All right, I would love to. We begin as spoiled hotel heiress Sierra Belmont, played by Lindsay Lohan, has been appointed as vice president of atmosphere at her father's flagship resort in Aspen. Do we know the name of the resort? Is it just like Belmont?
It's
Heltos
Belmont,
or something?
yeah.
Despite having no interest in the business whatsoever. At this time, Jake Russell, played by Cord Overstreet, the owner of a much smaller ski resort nearby, pitches a sale to Sierra's father, Beauregard Belmont, which is one of the richest names I've ever heard in my entire life, played by Jack Wagner. Returning from his failed pitch, Jake enters the lobby of the hotel where he accidentally bumps into Sierra and spills her drink all over her Valignaggi shirt, which I guess is a mixture between Valentino and like Balenciaga or something. Mm-hmm. Jake apologizes and leaves as Sierra meets up with her boyfriend, Tad Fairchild, which is also an incredible name for a rich person who is absolutely insufferable, played by George Young, and he's an obnoxious influencer. Think of like a 10 times more obnoxious David Rose from Schitt's Creek. Shortly thereafter, Tad brings Sierra to a mountaintop to propose to her, and after she notes that the massive ring is way too big on her finger, she sort of like hesitantly accepts.
Yeah.
She's like not really sure. As the two are taking ussies, which are just selfies with
but
the
for
two of them in it, an avalanche hits, knocks the two down the mountain in separate places. Tad ends up at the house of an old man named Ralph, who's like this like scavenger who lives in the woods.
It's like the most random subplot I've ever seen in my life.
It's just like I feel like it's just to give Tad something to do that is not like him walking back by himself. Like, it gives him a reason to speak.
Yeah.
But it's the worst part of the movie. Sierra slides down a hill and bumps her head on a tree and is knocked out cold. Tad ends up. Sorry, I just said that. Sierra is found by who else but Jake, who somehow has no idea who she is, even though like less than 2 hours ago he just spilled a drink all over her shirt, and I would have thought of that literally for the rest of my life.
Plus, she's Lindsay Lohan.
And she looks like Lindsay Lohan. Even assuming that Lindsay Lohan doesn't exist in this universe, which I have a whole thing on. That's one of those things I got to get into one of these days, like whether actors exist in the universe of those movies.
The movie, yeah.
Even if she does not exist in this universe, she still looks like Lindsay Lohan, who doesn't look like normal people.
Right.
You know? So after a hospital visit where Sierra realizes she has amnesia, Jake invites her to stay at his bed and breakfast hotel, the North Star Lodge, along with his daughter Avi and mother-in-law Alejandra. I don't know why I have trouble saying Avi.
Avi is a weird name.
I keep saying Avi. I think that's because like Avi's like a real name. Like there's this character in Snowfall named Avi, and it's like an old Jewish guy.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, Sierra takes up the name of Sarah and adjusts quite easily to having amnesia, as she just starts to like help out at the hotel.
She just vibes
and hang out with Jake, and she tries to make the bed and she can't do it, and ha ha ha, this is so funny. I would be freaking out.
If I didn't know who I was and I was just at this random place, I would be a little nervous.
Yes, I would be like, this guy like hit me over the head with a sledgehammer.
I would
and
also
brought me back to his.
I would just be at the police station.
Yeah.
And I would.
Well,
say,
the sheriff's like, oh, you can stay with him.
Yeah,
without any real like
they're
investigation.
like, he's a great guy. Everybody's like, oh, Jake is the most charitable man I have ever met.
We'll get to more of that.
But he's kind of rude.
He's not the nicest guy I've ever met in my life.
No.
Anyway, she doesn't have much inner turmoil about her identity at all. She helps Jake deal with the loss of his wife, and Avi with the loss of her mother. She bonds with Alejandra, who basically gives Jake the okay to just move on from her daughter or whatever. Like, it is what it is. She's like the first to be like, you know, whatever. You would think in a normal movie it would be like, oh, well, she's the last stalwart.
Yeah.
And then
nobody cares.
No, nobody cares whatsoever. More on her later. I've got a lot. I've got a lot on Alejandra that I think is a little bit of subtext here. They meet a Santa stand-in who makes some really cryptic comments about love, relationships, and Christmas.
He's a Kmart Santa.
He is lucky to be a Kmart Santa. As the hotel struggles, it's not. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful hotels I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we'll get to more of that. Sierra comes up with the idea to throw a Christmas party as sort of a fundraiser to help save the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Following 4 days without his daughter, Sierra, Beauregard realizes that she's missing, finally, and he calls the sheriff. 4 days. I know that she's a grown adult, but she's his VP of Atmosphere. You have to know where your VP of Atmosphere is at all time. Ours is right here. I mean, whatever. After a couple of Tad scenes where he's clearly a fish out of water in the woods with Ralph, the local sheriff finds the two and brings them back to town.
On Twitter, all the Twitter people wanted a romance.
With those two?
With Tad and Ralph. But I don't think the subtext was there.
No, definitely not. At the Christmas party at the North Star Lodge, all of the residents who we haven't seen before randomly come together and tell all of these stories about Jake and how nice he is, and they start slipping him checks for the hotel, and they're talking about all these acts of kindness he'd done, none of which any of us have seen.
None.
Or even really heard specifically referenced.
No.
There's nothing here. Nothing. But Jake's done so many good deeds that apparently the town decides to name the North Star Lodge a historic site.
I just want to know why.
You don't know.
Find
maybe
out.
they'll tell us. Maybe they'll tell us in the sequel.
Falling for New Year's.
Oh. Before Jake can thank Sierra for her efforts, Tad and Beauregard show up to take Sierra home, restoring her memory.
Yeah.
Sure. Whatever.
She remembered.
Sierra decides that she's going to do things for herself moving forward, and she resigns from her VP of Atmosphere position, confirming to herself that the hotel business is not for her. Meanwhile, Jake's daughter reveals that her Christmas wish is for Jake to find love and convinces him to go find Sierra.
Yeah.
And so earlier in the movie, the Santa, they're selling like this giant sleigh, And they're like, oh, we can't really afford that because like the hotel's going under.
Yeah.
And but guess what? When they go to find Sierra, where is the sleigh? But right next to the
Horse stable.
the horse stable where their horse Balthazar is.
Yeah.
And it's just there, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take it. Yeah, sure, whatever. So in the meantime, Sierra breaks off her engagement with Tad, and shortly after, she meets up with Jake, who confesses his love to her. This whole scene is truly preposterous.
Well, basically, okay, Jake and Abby ride Balthazar the horse
Yeah.
to the downtown area
Yeah.
where the Belmont Hotel is.
Yes.
And then Kmart Santa's there. And
Yeah, he's like in the parking lot,
he's
right?
like, hey, you better go get your girl.
He's like near the valet,
yeah.
right at that point.
Yeah, and then Jake's like, oh, Abby, wait with Balthazar. And she said, okay. And then he goes and he and Sierra, oh, they're in love. And then for some reason, Sierra's dad brings in Abby?
Yeah.
Where's Balthazar? Just running through the streets of Salt Lake City.
Unexplained. Maybe we'll find out in the sequel.
Maybe we will.
So Beauregard believes that he owes Jake a debt of gratitude for finding Sierra and honestly for saving his family from Tad, because there's like a little tiny little subplot of how he keeps calling him Ted and how he doesn't like him and all that, or he doesn't really know who he is.
Also, Tad just ended up like dating one of
Sierra's assistants. Yeah.
But that was so random.
Yeah. It was not well fleshed out at all. Borderline offensive.
Yeah.
And Bo decides to invest in North Star Lodge after all. And so Jake, Sierra, their respective families, they spend a happy Christmas together as the movie ends. And you get a few outtakes and stuff like that. So that's fun.
Bloopers.
Yeah.
And that is Falling for Christmas.
That is Falling for Christmas 2022, starring Lindsay Lohan.
Fire. Also, I looked up the top 3
Okay.
most
Hit us with it.
watched Netflix movies. Bird Box is number 3.
Number 3. These are Netflix originals?
Yes. Number 2 is Don't Look Up.
Number 1, The Irishman?
No. Number 1 is Red Notice. I've never heard of the movie.
Is that Bruce Willis?
It's The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
Yeah. What critics say?
Oh, Red.
Red Notice is limp and dull. Number 1.
Red is Bruce Willis.
Most watched. Oh, Red. Yeah, that's like a fun action-y movie.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. There you have it. But hey, if you're looking for the top 4 since May 2022, Falling for Christmas is on that list, baby.
I think that confirms that The Rock is a movie star.
I like that.
We had this discussion based on the
Simu Liu and
Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. One-sided spat on Twitter.
Yeah. And it was basically Quentin Tarantino said that because of Marvel, there is not really movie stars nowadays, and that like you go to see Captain America. Like Captain America's the movie star. Chris Evans is. He didn't specifically say Chris Evans, but like Chris Evans isn't the movie star. Captain America is the movie star, and Simu Liu, who played Shang-Chi, took offense to that and basically was like, you know, if not for Disney, Marvel, whatever, somebody might like me, an Asian man, would not have been able to lead a $400 million film, which I think is a valid point. But on the movie star point, like we sort of thought about it. And it's like
there's not really that many movie stars.
Yeah, that's just our opinion though. But I think that The Rock is undeniably a movie star.
I think he's the number 1.
Yeah, and
have I seen The Rock movie in like since The Tooth Fairy? No.
You saw The Tooth Fairy?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, so did I. Okay, good. Well, we're also excluding like grandfathered in movie stars, like your Tom Cruises, your even like Robert Downey Jr.
We mean like fresh in the past 20 years.
15, 20 years, yeah. There's not that many people that are consistently making movies that people are going to go see because that person's in that movie.
Right.
Like Chris Evans, that example for me is, you know, he just put out a movie on Netflix, I think, called...
Which actually a lot of people saw, Tom.
Really?
It's a bad example to use.
Did they?
Yeah.
I read that nobody watched it like the first week.
Man?
Yeah.
Everybody watched it. It was on this list.
Oh, I read that nobody watched it like the first week.
Welp.
No, okay.
Chris Evans turns out megastar.
Yeah, never mind. I take it back.
Also important here, I have my discussion questions.
Lindsay Lohan's a movie star.
Lindsay Lohan is my movie star forever. Also, Connie's going to be here, or the baby's going to be here in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
Just so you know. But let's get into this question first. If you were an heiress, what would you want daddy to own? For example, the Belmont ski resorts. I would not want daddy, rich, famous daddy, to own ski resorts?
Because you wouldn't do anything with it.
I wouldn't do anything. It's pointless for me.
Yeah.
What would you want your super mega rich father to own if you were an heiress?
This one is easy.
What is it?
I want a famous podcast studio. I want the largest audience as possible to be subjected to my podcast. I want, like, you to put my album on your phone without you asking type of money for my podcast dad.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mine would be water parks.
Water parks are fine too.
I want action park style, almost too dangerous, like having to settle lawsuits. Water park.
Yeah, so I don't know if do you want to like do a quick primer on Action Park?
Was in North Jersey.
It's a very New Jersey specific
very
thing.
New Jersey specific. North Jersey water park from like the 80s.
No, it wasn't. It was like an amusement park in general.
Oh, well, but it was a big water park.
There was like a wave pool.
Yeah, no, there was all kinds
and
of
slides.
Rides. Yeah,
yeah, but there was also that thing where they would luge down the hill.
And there were also like they would like go on the highway on these like little cars.
Yeah,
yeah,
because they had to cross from one side of the park to the other, but it was on the other side
highway.
of like the parkway or whatever.
So yeah, basically a lot of people got hurt and people even died.
Yeah, multiple people died.
So then they shut it down.
Sort of. They rebranded.
Yeah, they rebranded.
Yeah.
And so there's a really good documentary called Class Action Park.
It's on HBO.
That's on HBO that we would highly recommend.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I was an heiress, I would want a step below. I wouldn't want anyone to get like super
No
hurt.
no deaths.
No deaths, but I would want
maiming,
like,
sure, but
almost dangerous water park. Like a set of them, like high class ones.
okay. Is there such thing as a high class water park?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I really like the Mean Girls reference. Lindsay Lohan sings Jingle Bell Rock in Falling for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of Lindsay's too short music career. And in particular, the classic song Rumors.
The first leg of her music career. Perhaps she will revive it.
I would hope so. What is your favorite random famous person song?
So I know just from the Housewives you have way more than I do.
I didn't even pick a Housewives for my number one.
My number one is the obvious one. It's Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy.
It's a good one.
I mean, I was told that song is bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a great song. Congratulations, Eddie Murphy. You made a hit.
It.
You did it.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
What about the Imagine cover from early in the pandemic? Does that one count?
I know. I'm blocking that from my memory.
Yeah, that was like, who was that? It was like Gal Gadot, Amy Adams.
It was a lot of people.
It was like the who's who of Hollywood.
Like are very quiet about having been in that video now.
Yeah, and it's like, well, they did it in like the first week of lockdown, and it was like, we're gonna get through this together, and it's like you people had like
so bad.
You people had like 3 days in your houses, and this is what you were doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
Love the Imagine
Any other ones?
cover. Nope, that's it. It's Party All the Time and the Imagine cover.
Mine is Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton.
It's a good one.
Which, if you don't know, the song has a featured role in Promising Young Woman.
Yes.
That's my favorite part of that movie.
Yes.
I loved that part of that
They were
movie.
like in like a
CVS
drugstore or something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that one. All right, we're gonna pause for a second because our baby's coming. Okay, our baby is here and he's going to be super quiet and he's our new producer.
I suddenly have a lot more stress on me right now. I'm under the lights.
That's okay. So I actually really love the grandma in this. You think the grandma has ulterior motives.
I didn't say I don't love her, but hear me out here. All right. So she's like sort of a sad sack in the beginning of the movie.
Wow. She's like, oh my God.
She's allowed to be. Her daughter died.
Yeah, I get that.
So like, but I think it's a setup. Like, she knows who Sierra is.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. It's like Sierra is this like Paris Hilton like
Lindsay Lohan
heiress.
like.
Yeah.
Well, not heiress, but yeah.
And so apparently, when Lindsay Lohan's character goes missing in the same town with this mega resort, no one recognizes her, but she somehow is important enough to warrant a press conference.
nationally, I would presume, internationally televised press conference.
So important that you have people calling in on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, maybe, to say, "Hey, I want to stay at the place where Sierra Belmont was found."
Yeah.
So it's a little bizarre to me that you have no idea. Nobody in the town knows who she is.
So Alejandra knows who she is, and I'm 100% sure about that.
I love that you're making the movie script like mad deep.
Somebody's got to do it.
Oh my God.
She is, listen,
Ron Oliver.
she is so insistent that her son-in-law gets over her daughter so that he can get with Sierra, because why?
She's
Money.
rich, baby.
Money. If this hotel is failing and it's struggling, how do you get the infusion of money? You get the heiress.
You get the heiress.
You get the heiress.
And guess what? It worked. Alejandra knows what she's doing.
She said she bought her something to wear. It was like a dress.
Yeah.
Because she makes Jake smile, and she bought her some shoes. And you're telling me there's no money in this resort, first of all. Second of all, these look so freaking expensive. And third of all, she's setting them up. She's setting them up to get the heiress money.
When you say stuff like the actual quotes, like she buys her an outfit because she makes Jake smile. It's just like, it makes it sound like a bad movie.
Yeah. And listen, on top of this
movie's so good.
Guess where they watched the press conference?
At the resort.
Yeah. You're telling me Grandma wasn't on TV? Wasn't watching TV this whole time, these 4 days? She wasn't watching her soap operas or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guess who's there to reap the benefits when the phone starts ringing off the hook?
Alejandra.
She's sitting there on the phones,
and she's like,
taking call after call. Oh my God. It worked. My plan worked.
Jake, we're sold out.
She also said that
it's a Christmas miracle.
You're telling me she doesn't know who Sierra is? Alejandra said she has all the contact information for every single person who has stayed at the lodge.
You have notes, my man.
For 3 decades. 30 years. You're telling me she doesn't know one of the most famous people on Earth?
Yeah. You know what? I didn't think about any of this.
That's even disregarding the fact that that's a wild privacy violation. I mean, it is absurd.
Well, if you believe that they're a failing resort, it's like what? Like a couple guests?
What do you mean?
Like 30 years probably isn't that many people.
She scrolled down a whole thing on the computer. Or it might have been in a binder, but there was like pages of like people's contact information.
Okay, well, all right. I am willing to accept this conspiracy theory you have about Alejandra.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Who's your favorite old person in a movie?
In like any
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
Like, are you talking like, who is the inspiration for this question?
Alejandra, because I love her in this movie.
Oh.
So who's your favorite old person in a
Well,
movie?
Mama
Lady?
Coco is the first one who came to
Mama
mind.
Coco's good.
Not the Barbarian Lady. That's all we're gonna say about Barbarian. If you haven't seen it, not the Barbarian Lady.
Okay. Mama Coco.
Mama Coco comes to mind.
That's cute.
What about the Billy Crystal and Carol Kane characters from The Princess Bride?
I like that. That's good.
What was the guy's name? It was like Half Dead Harry or
I
something
don't know,
like
but
that.
They go, have fun storming the castle.
Yeah. They come to mind.
That's good.
What about you?
Lily Tomlin and Grandma.
Okay.
I like
Which,
her.
yeah, for all our listeners and viewers who have seen Grandma.
Yeah, the movie that had made $0.
It was like 72 minutes long.
It's the least seen movie on Netflix. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what about like Gandalf?
Yeah, sure.
What about like Dobby? How old's Dobby?
I actually don't know.
Is Dobby like ancient?
I don't know. No, I feel like the house elves have like a regular lifespan.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. R.I.P. Dobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yikes. All right, my next question.
You should have gave me that one in advance. There's so many old people I could have thought about. What about Christopher Plummer's character in Beginners?
Yeah, that's cute. I like that. That's a really good one. Uh-oh. Do you hear our little baby? I wonder if you hear him.
Yeah, probably.
That's so cute.
Yeah, he's been on before.
Vibing.
He's made appearances before.
So, to me, one of the most unrealistic parts of this movie is the idea that the North Star Lodge isn't booked solid for months. It's like in a perfect little Hallmark town, a perfect little beautiful resort.
That lodge has never seen struggles.
No, I know. And then I also said Jake is kind of mean. Why can't we get a good love interest? I swear
This is
to
like the
God.
fourth one or fifth one we've talked about, and they're all bad.
They're all bad. And honestly, too, we just saw Do Revenge, which was okay, too. I thought it was all right. But again, the love interests were so lame.
Yeah. Who were the love
lame.
interests? I don't even remember.
The guy, Russ with the blue hair.
Russ? Oh, yeah.
And then the sister of the big guy. The bad
her
guy.
name was like Gianna or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are these? Like, they're so boring.
Yeah.
Hate. All right. What is your...
Wait, hold on. I have something related to the love interest here.
All right.
So this is basically going to be my entire trivia section. Cord Overstreet plays Jake, Sierra's love interest.
I know he was supposed to play Tad at first, right?
Well, sure. But in Just My Luck...
Yes. Starring 2009's Chris Pine of Star Trek fame.
Lindsay Lohan fell for a guy named Jake, played by Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And in Freaky Friday, Chad Michael Murray's character is also named Jake.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's our Jake segment of this episode.
That's beautiful.
Well, when we get to Chinatown, we'll do another one.
Okay, yes. Yeah, Jake. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. You're right.
Yep.
So what do you think is the best Hallmark movie trope?
I actually wrote that about for you. I wrote, do you have a favorite Hallmark movie trope?
They're all kind of the same, right?
Every single one, yeah.
I think my favorite thing is that every single Hallmark movie has hot chocolate in it.
Did this one?
Yeah. That's what Jake spilled on Sierra.
Oh, it was hot chocolate.
Yeah. So probably that. I also love that they always have the most beautiful small towns.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We might have to pause for a second for the baby.
So we can eat.
Okay, and we're back with the baby right here, and April's spinning around on the carpet.
Yeah.
Chaos here at all times.
It is whatever. Okay, I meant to say this before we adjourn for the second time.
Yeah.
I want you to marry, kiss, kill the Jakes. In Falling for Christmas, in Just My Luck, and in Freaky Friday.
Okay, I'm killing Cord Overstreet's Jake from
Really?
Falling for Christmas.
I honestly haven't seen the other two. I saw Freaky Friday a long time ago, but I don't really remember it, so I don't know the other two really.
I would probably marry Jake from Freaky Friday because he ends up like having a crush on Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think that's awesome.
Okay.
And
it's Chad Michael Murray.
And I would kiss Chris Pine's Jake. But I wouldn't want to marry him because him and Lindsay. Do you know the purpose of? Do you know what this movie is?
I know nothing about Just My Luck.
So basically, like Lindsay Lohan's character is like really lucky, and then she kisses Chris Pine's character, who's really unlucky, and then their luck switches.
Oh,
then he becomes
they don't
really
even
lucky.
out like the Seinfeld episode we were watching, like Even Stevens.
So, like I would kiss him. Maybe because I would get like, it's not that I'm unlucky or lucky, but maybe I would get really lucky and be able to win the lottery. But I wouldn't want to marry him.
But what if you got really unlucky?
Then I would kiss him again because that's at the end they switch back and forth.
I got you.
So it's one of those things where like
you could really manipulate that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
that's what I would do.
So it's kind of like when you have a baby, you have to figure out like who is like getting up at certain times or who's taking care of the baby, right?
Why are you thinking about that?
I don't know. I'm like, so that's my answer.
Okay, yeah, that's a good marry, kiss, kill.
I think so too. Back to my Hallmark tropes. If you don't watch Hallmark movies, I don't know if I don't know if I could recommend them to you. I don't really like them. I do try to watch like one Hallmark-ish movie a year. I think this was it.
I also think that we did originally plan for Mother's Day to have her mom tell us her favorite Hallmark movie of the season.
Yes, because she does. She watches like at least one a day, I think.
Yeah. She's retired. It's not like she's like
she's like, I gotta watch my Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
No, she loves them. My grandmom loves them, but I don't.
Yeah.
Personally. Yeah. I mean, maybe I will. I do try to watch like, a couple a year. I think that they're fun. And they're cozy. They're like fun to watch. I'll do it if like I've got nothing else on and I'm like, I might as well put one of these on. Falling for Christmas really did scratch that itch for me though.
It's scratched. You're good.
I'm pretty good. I might try and watch one or two more this season, but that's it. Yeah. I've got another question.
Do you have another one related directly to the movie?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I do actually. In an interview with Who What Where, Lindsay Lohan said, quote, "I wanted to do something where people felt I haven't left. Does Falling for Christmas, do you think that she achieved that?"
No,
Why not?
because I haven't watched a Lindsay Lohan movie in like 15 years.
I actually agree with her statement though. Where
I appreciate the intention.
and I think that it worked for me where I'm like, oh, I love Lindsay Lohan. Like it just brought me back. I know it's like
Well, that's
I know.
the opposite of her point.
No, I just think that it's like
I feel like she left. I don't feel like
and
she
you're
never
glad
left.
she's back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I need more Lindsay Lohan.
Are you kidding me?
We're the Lindsay Lohan fan club presidents,
This
co-presidents.
is straight from Erin's brain right here.
Do you know what my inspiration was?
What?
Before and after puzzles on Wheel of Fortune. Even though it does not fit that.
It wouldn't be one of those.
Yeah. Imagine if that would be very confusing.
Yeah. There's like 6 before and afters in there.
Yeah, I know. I do have only one more question, Tom, that is not Falling for Christmas related, but I just find it really important.
Okay.
Cord Overstreet became well known from Glee.
Yes.
I just want to know, who would you Glee's had some tragedy
Yeah.
with around their
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
so
yeah.
please don't include any of that.
Why would I include tragedy?
I don't know. Who would you say is the most popular Glee export? Who do you know from
Do you count
Glee?
Jane Lynch as an export?
I would, sure.
She's the
You
one.
think Jane Lynch?
But I think she was famous before that.
Yeah, so
She was more famous after Glee, or while Glee was on.
yeah, do you know Jane Lynch was Ricky Bobby's mom in Talladega Nights, so you can't really count her.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was the owner of the electronics store in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, so you really can't count her.
And she was the big brother, big sister person in Role Models.
Yeah, so you know what? Jane Lynch is out as far as Glee exports are concerned.
Yeah.
Then who else would you
I'm
say?
sure there's a lot of them that I know, but I'm kind of blanking. Like, I know Leah Michele.
I think she's the one.
Yeah. I know.
No, do you know who else? Blake Jenner, who I know
Yeah.
has had
Yeah.
some stuff with
Yeah.
him, but we like a couple.
He's in
of
one
the
of our
things
favorite
he's
movies.
in, yeah.
Naya Rivera. I knew before the tragedy, but
Mhm. Melissa
Benoist.
Yes, she's
from
from
Glee?
Yep.
Anybody else?
Cord Overstreet.
Okay. So he's in my top 5 of people I know from Glee.
Ali Stroker. She's she's from Ridgewood actually.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she is a Tony winner. She was the first person in a wheelchair to win a Tony.
Oh, good for her.
So that's pretty cool.
Matthew Morrison, I recognize.
Yeah, he just got kicked off of So You Think You Could Dance.
Jonathan Groff?
As a judge. Yeah, Jonathan Groff. Although, I mean, yes.
There's somebody named
He
Kevin
was so
McHale,
popular. Kevin McHale, who was just on.
who is not the Celtics legend Kevin McHale.
No, but he was just on. I think I actually stopped watching it, so I don't know if he was actually on this. He might have
Okay.
been one of the contestants on the Drag Race Celebrity thing.
Okay,
Yeah, but I don't
I'm
know
sure
if
that-
that's true.
sure. Let me see here. Amber Riley sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's done some stuff. She's actually, they think she's on The Masked Singer right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's our, Masked Singer hive.
I actually watched a
We
little
watched
bit of
the other
Masked
day.
Singer.
It was not good.
It was not good.
Darren Criss.
Yes. Yep, he's actually pretty popular.
I'm just straight up going down the list right now of people and seeing if I recognize any of the names. How do some Glee people not have Wikipedia pages?
I don't know.
Kristen Chenoweth was recurring.
Yeah, but she was famous before that.
Yeah, Idina Menzel.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, John Stamos.
Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow ended up marrying one
Grant
of the
Gustin.
producers.
I know him.
Who?
Grant Gustin.
Who's that?
He was the Flash on the Flash TV series.
Oh, I didn't know he was started on Glee.
Yeah.
There you go. Tom, you got to watch Glee.
Yeah. I mean, because Katie Seagal's on it.
Exactly. We love Katie Seagal here.
Yeah. I don't know many of these other people other than like Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. That's all I got on Glee. I don't have much Glee.
So, what?
In general, I don't have much Glee.
What questions do you have?
Who were the best comeback stories in Hollywood? Like, for example, you got your Robert Downey Jr.'s,
It's
your
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke's, you got
from-
Winona Ryder.
It's Winona Ryder too. Mickey Rourke, just because The Wrestler is like one of my favorite performances in a movie of all time.
That may be the most perfectly cast role in the history of movies. Mickey Rourke as Randy the Ram Robinson in
absolutely.
The Wrestler.
Absolutely.
That movie is meta as hell.
It's so good. Winona Ryder is an excellent comeback story.
But it's so stupid because of the reason that she had
I
to come
know.
back.
Yeah, I know. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's a really good one. The Lindsay Lohan, I'm really hoping that she keeps it going. I really want to see more from her.
Is there someone that, this is something I probably should have asked beforehand, but like, is there somebody out there that you want to make a comeback that is like not really either in movies that much or doing too many big movies?
Okay. Before I go on, though, Jennifer Coolidge was a great one with White Lotus.
Yeah.
Like she ended up.
She wasn't really in much before that for a while.
She did a lot in the early mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And then kind of dipped after some of that, and then now she's back, baby.
Good.
Who is someone that I would like to see make a comeback? That is a really
No, I should have told you this one beforehand. But,
I don't know.
But here we are. I didn't even come up with one for myself.
You don't have one?
No. Rick Moranis.
I like that.
Yeah, Rick
That's
Moranis.
Really good. Rick Moranis is a really good one. I don't know, like the Muppets.
Yeah, I mean it's been since 2013 or whatever.
I want another movie. They're just like
they're too busy.
Away
They're
on
too
Holy
busy.
Moly right now.
They're too busy. They got too much going on.
Like
with, with Rob Riggle over on Holy Moly.
You know who I want a comeback story for? Tom Bergeron.
Yes. You're just watching Dancing with the Stars now.
I need Tom back.
You are not a fan of Tyra.
Listen, Tyra is not my favorite host of Dancing with the Stars. She's not. I didn't love Erin Andrews either.
Right.
You know that I'm very upfront about that.
Yeah. Erin has not lied to me about her dislike for Erin Andrews.
I haven't. But I was really upset when
You're disappointed by Alfonso too, right?
He's not my favorite as a co-host of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. We're Ribeiro heads, I would say, in general.
I like him, yeah. And I was happy when Tom Bergeron left America's Funniest Home Videos. I really liked Alfonso as a replacement for that show.
He seemed like he would be good on Dancing with the Stars too.
You would think. I
mean, I don't watch it. What the hell do I know? But
yeah, I don't know. I think that there's, for some reason, a little bit of a problem with ex-contestants coming back as hosts. Erin Andrews, all she talked about was when she was on Dancing with the Stars, blah, blah, blah. And Alfonso kind of did that a little bit too.
Did he?
But it was
Did
less
he win?
explicit. He might have won. He was really good. And it was less explicit, but it would be like, yeah, man, I know what you mean when you say blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you had your chance.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been on it. Can you just stop? But I miss Tom Bergeron. I want more Tom on stuff. And he wanted to stay on Dancing with the Stars.
What about Frankie Muniz?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Give us more Frankie Muniz, Hollywood. That's what the people are asking for.
Yeah, I would love a Frankie Muniz comeback.
What about Meg Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
I'm on Google right now.
Meg Ryan, that would be amazing.
We're getting one with Brendan Fraser.
Yes, we are.
When The Whale... Is it out yet?
I don't know. I don't
think so. Whenever we watch The Whale, that's when I decide. Oh, Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Gina Davis needs to come back.
Tom's girl.
She's like doing like real life stuff, like charity stuff.
Yeah.
She's doing her own thing. That's probably more important, but
yeah, for
you know, whatever.
What about like
Amanda Bynes?
Yeah, she kind of almost had one with like the Easy A and all that. Yeah, why not?
She's down like the Lohan lane.
A little bit.
You know?
Yeah, I think so.
She could follow in that sort of thing.
Yeah. These are all good people.
We've talked in the past about how we may be getting a Katherine Heigl-sance at some point.
I'm kind of in.
Yeah, whatever.
What about Michael Cera?
Yeah, what's he doing?
I know.
What's Michael Cera? Michael Cera, what are you doing? This is a little bit of an old.
How about Forrest Whitaker director movies? I want more Forrest
Bring
Whitaker
him back.
directing movies.
Waiting to exhale.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
That'd be perfect.
Sorry, Whitney, but there he is.
Oh, he wants it too.
Yeah, he said, "Please, Forrest."
Please.
Yeah, this list has some people who are no longer with us.
Oh my God! Yeah, we don't need comebacks from any of them. Please rest.
Robert Redford.
Oh, I love Robert Redford. Yeah, totally. What about Gene Hoffman? What about Jack Nicholson?
You're talking about Gene Hackman or Dustin Hoffman?
Gene Hackman. Who is Gene Hoffman? There's got to be tons of Gene Hoffmans out there.
Robert Redford had like a retirement movie already.
Yeah.
So he's probably done.
Yeah.
The Old Man and the Gun. You should watch it. It's really good.
It is good. It actually is very good. Gene Hoffman needs to come back.
I've got nothing about I've got nothing regarding Gene Hauptman. I've yet to see a Gene Hauptman film, but maybe one day.
He's got to have a SAG card, right?
Yeah. What is the best Lindsay Lohan movie? We didn't talk about this when we talked about Mean Girls.
This is so hard, Tom. I gotta say.
Is it this one? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. I think it's The Parent Trap.
Okay.
Or Mean Girls. Mean Girls is so good.
Go back and listen to our Mean Girls episode. It's like episode 9 or something.
But The Parent Trap is Nora Ephron.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know.
I think so.
That sounds right. Sure.
It's so good.
And there's 2 of her. 2 Lindsays.
Yeah, it's double the Lindsay.
Yeah.
Double the Lohan.
Yep.
2 Lindsay, 2 Lohan.
Yep.
So I'm going with that one. I also love For You Friday.
Okay. No Love for Just My Luck?
No. Or Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Or I Know Who Killed Me?
No. Or Machete. I actually love Machete too.
Machete? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Danny Trejo, baby.
Yeah, and we haven't seen A Prairie Home Companion, so I don't know about that one.
Right. I have a little bit more trivia.
Okay.
So not only is there the Jake coincidence, this is also not the first movie where Lindsay Lohan's character overfills a washing machine with soap.
It's For You Friday.
No, Just My Luck.
Oh, God.
Hold on, I have to let April out. Are you going? Go. Okay. She did not go out. Also, at the part at the end where Jake and Sierra kiss,
Yeah.
there's a really strong lens flare. So, like,
Yeah.
you sort of can't see them. It obscures them. That's because she didn't even do the kiss.
That's genius.
She didn't even do the kiss. It was a stand-in. Cord Overstreet was kissing some rando.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's in the bloopers.
Yeah,
And
it
it was
is.
so confusing. I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
It's her stand-in.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to her. She's like, we're going to do my whole comeback.
Do what she wants.
And, like, the whole point of it is for the end kiss, like, to see them finally together. And it's like, she's not even there for that. That would be like if you know, Tom Cruise was like, no, I'm not going to do the scene where
Maverick flies the plane.
Right, or where like Ethan Hunt jumps through the window of the building. Like, could you imagine? I know there's stunt doubles for things like that, but this is just like, it's a kiss scene. It's not like,
I love it.
It's great.
Stan.
Trying again with April.
The wheels have fallen off.
Oh yeah, this is a totally messed up episode.
It's kind of awesome. What else, Tom?
All right, well, April again staying in.
Believer.
Yeah, she's done. All right. We're going to do a good vibes, bad vibes this episode.
Okay.
We're going to go with Santa in this movie.
Bad vibes.
Bad vibes?
Bad vibes.
Okay, why does Santa have bad vibes?
It sounds mean, but like I don't trust him.
He's definitely not trustable.
He laughs too much.
He is a stalker.
I don't get it.
What do you mean? Do all Hallmark movies have like a Santa type figure?
A lot of them do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand. He's like very like he talks in riddles.
Yeah, why is he so
He's
cryptic?
Like, I'm watching this station. He's like selling stuff, and he's like, I'm watching this stall for a friend. It's like,
What
who
friend?
are you? What friend? You never find out.
Rudolph?
You don't know why. Like, it's very strange. And then, like, he's like, the thing you are looking for is in the courtyard. How do you know that?
Because he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
I don't like it.
For goodness sake. I just have a couple of more comments. I think
Okay.
I'm done with my questions. My first comment that I wrote was, it was within 5 minutes. I wrote, I already hate every single person in this movie. And by the end of the movie, I think I hated everybody except Lindsay Lohan and Avi
What about Alejandra?
and Alejandra. Because if she really did have that scheme, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I kind of love
Get
it.
that money.
Get that money.
I love snow globes. I wrote. There's a snow globe scene.
Lindsay Lohan's like obsessed with snow globes.
Oh, so the family name is Belmont.
Yes.
I said this to you yesterday. Belmont is the family name in the Castlevania series of the vampire killers who are always killing Dracula over and over again. I choose to believe that their line just kind of got sidetracked in the ski resort business somehow.
Yeah, sure.
I want a sequel where Lindsay Lohan's character rediscovers her vampire killer roots.
It's kind of like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
And guess what? Castlevania is a Netflix TV series.
Done.
Cross it over.
Perfect.
Cross it over.
I love
Sierra
that.
Belmont.
Vampire Hunter.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I wrote, relatedly, to when he spills the drink on her and then immediately forgets her. I wrote, relatedly, I like the idea that everyone in Hallmark type movies is so good looking that this guy doesn't even remember Lindsay Lohan is standing out from the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
Like if I was in like the local Starbucks and like knocked a drink over on pretty much anybody who's like even like an influencer that I didn't know,
you would remember that.
I would remember them. I wrote that I love how they try to make this resort like the little guy. And it's nicer than any place I've ever stayed at in my entire life. And we stayed at like a castle in Scotland.
Yeah, no, I know.
And this place is like nicer than that. This entire movie is a sketch comedy show without punchlines.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
Especially the scene where everyone tells Jake how great he is and like everyone's just giving him money. Everything is so awkward and drawn out, and like we are big fans of the show I Think You Should Leave, which is also on Netflix, and it feels like there could have been another crossover where Tim Robinson suddenly walks on screen and he's like, "Thank you so much, Jake, for that time you helped me when I got stuck in that tree outside the Rickshaw Mall in the nude."
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, "Okay."
Yeah, and he just keeps going.
Yeah, and then Jake would be like, all right. And then Tim would be like, "And also that other time when you pulled me out of the frozen lake when I was chasing after my cat, Mr. Johnson."
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And then he would just go on and on until it was like a really, really awkward thing. But it was just missing those punchlines.
Yeah, no punchlines to be found.
But it was all the setup.
Right.
I also wrote that you mentioned in the Top Gun episode that they spoke like Sims.
Yes.
This movie is another one you could throw into that category. They interacted like Sims.
Like they have they've never spoken to another human being.
Never.
Yeah.
Also, and finally, the funniest line in the entire movie is in the credits.
Yeah, it's good.
And Lindsay Lohan is holding up like a plastic baby hand. Like it was like ripped off a doll.
Yeah.
And she just turns to Jake and goes, "This is so beautiful. Why didn't you put this on the tree?"
So good. Love her. Lindsay, we love you.
Yeah, so those are my assorted miscellaneous comments. And like I said, trivia, there's nothing because the movie just came out. It's not
Lindsay
like...
Lohan's sister's in it.
Oh, yeah. She's
That's
one of her
cool.
assistants.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess that just leaves the final question, which is, does this make Baby's first watch list?
Yeah!
Yeah, of course.
Of course it does.
I've talked trash about this entire movie, but yes, of course it does.
Of course it does.
What are your takeaways? Again.
I never have any takeaways.
Well, I started with try your best to develop social skills.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Speak to people like they're people and not cardboard cutouts.
That's good. Yeah. Trust creepy Santas?
That didn't make my list. Didn't make my top 3. If you lose your memory, please ask someone for their cell phone. You can easily do like a reverse Google image search and find out exactly who you are, especially if you happen to be somebody that famous. If you reverse Google image search yourself, I'm sure you could find something
That's a good idea.
that would identify your identity.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's just how creepy the world is now. And more seriously, if you need help, ask for it. Don't wither away trying to tough things out like Jake does.
That's so good.
You can count on people you know to bring you up.
That's actually really good. Yeah.
Pride goeth before the fall.
How about trust in community?
Yeah.
I like that.
But also, like, be nice to the community. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to trust in your community.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my
Beautiful.
takeaways.
I love it.
And
Learn how to
that's-
make pancakes. That's
Eggs. She
does
struggled making.
pancakes. She does pancakes too.
She struggled making both.
Oh, wow.
She slammed the eggs into the pan.
It's so not funny the way it happened too.
The funniest parts of this movie were unintentional.
Yeah. Love it. A+.
Yep.
That's Falling for Christmas.
That is Netflix's Falling for Christmas. If they would like to sponsor us for this ad for their movie, that would be great.
I don't know if this would be like
I
a
was
good
also
ad.
trashing the screenwriter a lot.
Yeah, so maybe not so much.
Well, whatever. We'll see.
So what are we doing next time?
Next week is going to be our second. This is our second Lindsay Lohan movie. Next week is going to be our second Adam Sandler film.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably not one you would have thought would have been our second one, but it is timely. We're going to do 8 Crazy Nights.
I've never seen it.
It's probably a good thing. I have seen it.
You don't like it?
Oh, it's great, but it's terrible. Guess what it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
What?
Guess. Critic score.
45? How much?
Might be giving it a little bit too much
How
credit.
much?
12.
What?
So
What's the audience score?
I didn't write it down, but I wrote that the
12?
consensus calls the movie a nauseating concoction.
Oh, we're in. I'm excited.
As of now, it's $3 to rent on Amazon.
We're doing it. We're gonna spend the $3.
But of course, but by the time this comes out, if it is available for December, somewhere. I will put that either in the description or I'll edit this or
come
something
on,
like that.
spend the $3 for the 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Give Sandler his $3.
Yeah.
It's Sandler. It stars the woman who became his wife.
Oh, nice.
It's got the whole crew. Lovitz, Schneider, Kevin Nealon, the Sprouse twins, Carl Weathers. It's got everybody. Everybody from the Sandler verse is in it.
I love it. It's animated too.
It is animated. It is animated.
PG-13.
Yeah, but it's not really for kids.
Is it rated R? Or is it PG-13?
I think it's PG-13.
Okay.
I could be wrong though.
We'll
It's a breezy 76 minutes.
Oh my god, I'm in love.
Yeah. There's a chance that our podcast episode is going to be longer than that movie.
That's great. I'm excited.
Yeah, so that's that. And we hope you okay, we're going to have to go pretty soon because he's starting to fuss now. Yeah, so smash the subscribe. Follow us on Instagram.
All you Cord Overstreet fans.
Yeah, make us go viral on TikTok, but for the right reasons. I
don't want to go viral. There's a lot of viruses happening right now.
That's my reaction to that. Yeah, so that's about it. Rate us 5 stars. Give us good reviews, not bad reviews. And that's pretty much it.
Bye-bye.
See you later.